All right, Eagles Nation, welcome into the channel and welcome in for another video. Today, or tonight, I should say, we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles' first game of the season as they defeat the Green Bay Packers 34-29 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. There was some good, there was some bad, and there was certainly some ugly in this game. And we're going to get to all of that. The first thing I want to say is, prayers out to Jordan Love. Suffered a lower leg injury with about 6 seconds left in this game. The status is still TBD, at least on my end of things. Hopefully, the Packers did not lose their new franchise quarterback, who they just paid, superstar level guy for an extended amount of time in that sequence. But now, let us talk about the game. And I don't know if Eagles fans, we could start anywhere else but Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley came in and absolutely balled out, had 24 carries, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns, had the miraculous, amazing wheel route touchdown reception, which if you guys have been following the channel for a minute, I told you during training camp, the Philadelphia Eagles were really loving that wheel route with the running back. They were doing a lot with Gainwell and Shipley, and here we saw Saquon Barkley execute it to perfection. Jalen Hurts, we'll talk about Jalen at length in this video, but for all the bad that he had tonight, he had a really precise, great throw in this spot to get the ball to Saquon. The first touchdown of the Eagles season was Saquon Barkley, and in Brazil on the soccer field, he gets the hat trick. You can't overstate how good Saquon Barkley was in this game for the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is the thing when it comes to paying the running back. It is a luxury pay, but the Eagles had the roster and the ability to do it. And this is very similar to when San Francisco got Christian McCaffrey. He took their offense to another level. And I really think Saquon Barkley may have done that for the Philadelphia Eagles, because they should have put up 40 tonight, or at least 37, because Jalen Hurts throwing that really bad interception in the end zone. And the Eagles had 3 turnovers in this game. They were down -2 in the turnover battle and still won and still looked like they were in control for a lot of the game. This team could be really, really special, and the offense could be really special if Saquon Barkley can continue to produce. And now let's talk about Jalen Hurts, because if Jalen Hurts can just cut down on some of the poor decisions that he made in this game, and not just the 2 interceptions, although those were both pretty horrendous from Jalen, but it seemed like he called his own number a couple times on read options, and he seemed a little flustered in the pocket at times. Me and a couple buddies were saying it's the sloppiness of the, beginning of the season, and that's certainly part of it, but the guy's got to remember he could throw the ball out of bounds sometimes. I mean, he had some really bad plays. He really should have threw 4 picks in this game. The one to Jahan Dotson on the screen, I mean, Dixon should have been taking that for 6, and Jair Alexander almost had a second one on him. So Jalen Hurts really has to clean up the decision making. Obviously, he had some good plays. Like I said, the Saquon touchdown, the deep ball to A.J. Brown, the rush at the end of the game to pick up the first down and really fight. So this isn't just let's, crap all over Jalen Hurts parade here, but Jalen Hurts does need to play better. It says a lot about this Eagles team. I think that Jalen Hurts, their quarterback, can have a bad game. They can lose the turnover margin by 2 and still put up 34 and still win the game against a very competitive Packers team. We'll see what happens with Jordan Love, but this could be your NFC Championship preview, and it wouldn't surprise me if that happened to be the case. Now, I'm not as high on the Packers, generally speaking, as everybody else. I think that the Lions and 49ers and Eagles are your top 3 cream of the crop in the NFC, but this could turn out to be your NFC Championship. The Packers could be right there. A.J. Brown, 5 for 119 and a touchdown in this game. Devonta Smith, 7 for 84. Dallas Goedert, 4 for 31. Jahan Dotson doesn't see anything besides that 1 target that should have been picked off. He wasn't out there a ton. I'm going to attribute that to maybe not knowing the playbook fully. Kellen Moore's offense is a little complex. Maybe they didn't want to, throw him out there, but Britton Covey was out there running routes, and you guys have heard me talk about it. I think the wide receiver room should have never cut Paris Campbell. They could use the depth, and hopefully Dotson's got the playbook down by next Monday and could play a little bit more. But on the offensive side, I liked what Kellen Moore was drawing up. Again, I think his offense should have put up 37 to 40 points. You're never going to complain about that. The defense, actually, kind of better than I expected. And I get it. When you box score watch and you see 29, that's a crazy thing to say. But the defense in the first quarter really kept this team in the game. The Eagles, The first drive, the Packers get down there and they hold them to a field goal, they in the red zone, fine. But then the Eagles, two really bad turnovers, get the Packers back in the red zone 3 times to open the game. The Eagles defense only gives up 6 points. They really hold there, reminiscent of the NFC Championship game versus the 49ers. It was very good. It was very solid from this Eagles defense. I thought Zach Bond really showed out. I think he could be the leading tackler for this team. He's reminded me a little bit of a faster TJ Edwards. Nakobe Dean still struggles a little bit in pass coverage, but had some really nice hits, really nice tackles in this one. I thought Quinyon Mitchell looked like an absolute stud on the outside. This guy could absolutely play. The secondary actually wasn't really my main concern takeaway, and I don't know if this speaks to how good the Packers offensive line is, or Jordan Love's ability to navigate the pocket, or Jordan Love's just willingness to throw off his back foot, or probably a combination of all three. But the Eagles didn't get a sack in this game until the final play when Malik Willis was in at quarterback and kind of held the ball too long there. There was certainly some pressure. Jalen Carter, Josh Sweat applied some pressure. Didn't see a ton out of Bryce Huff that I loved in this game. It's early on in the season, so I'm not going to make any judgments on players right now, but the Eagles pass rush looked like they missed Hassan Reddick. I will say that. Now, he's available, but you have to pay him, I suppose, so that's not going to happen. But overall, I thought that the defense was fine, held Jordan Love to 17 of 34. Now, the field was a little bit of a slip and slide, so some of that's just attributed to receivers falling, and Jordan Love just making some questionable throws. I do wonder how the Eagles will fare against some of the more explosive players in the league, because Jaden Reed took him for a ride in this game. He had the 33-yard rushing touchdown and then 4 for 138 in a touchdown. So Jaden Reed was able to really find the open spots in these zones and blow past guys. The Eagles secondary lacks some speed. It's kind of where I thought maybe we would see Cooper DeJean a little bit more. Didn't happen tonight. Isaiah Rodgers as well, when he's healthy, is a faster player. So I'm not going to look too much into that portion of it, but something to take note of. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're 1-0. The season is underway. They now get extended rest after this game. They don't play until Monday night. We'll be back up here again to review that game and have videos in between throughout the week, of course. But I think my main takeaways were Saquon Barkley, early contender for Offensive Player of the Year, and I think he took the Eagles offense to another level. Jalen Hurts cut down on some of the bad decisions, and the Eagles could very well be the best offense in the NFL. The defense, liked what I saw out of the secondary, would love to see more out of the pass rush. And hey, leaving Brazil with a win, leaving Brazil 1-0, there was nothing more you could ask for if you were an Eagles fan. Be sure to drop all of your thoughts on the game in the comment section. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.